Today on Abrasive and Proud of It Live, we're bonding over Kling Bond. Love it when we're live. I'm Chris, and I'm in the studio. We're going to talk about blades.
And what you'll notice is that it's in the on position, but the tip is not hot. Okay, so I'm not going to burn myself.
Just like that, this is called jogging. This is my kind of jog. I'm not into that heavy physical fitness stuff, so this works out good for me.
Today we're going to be talking about chucks, and the cold jaws would be for taking and holding the bulb this way.
We always recommend leaving at least a 1/16 inch gap. It actually moves up and down and side to side that are great if you're just looking to get something small to do some little tinkering with.
All right, welcome to Abrasive and Proud of It Live. This is Mr. Chris Wood Smith on Tool Tip Tuesday, and we'll be talking about glues. But first, before we do, we would like to let you know that this is the last week leading up to the SawStop price increase. So now is the best time to save, to beat the price increase and get the best deal of the year moving forward. So May 3rd is when the price increase goes into effect, which is next Tuesday. So jump on that. Mr. Smith, what are we talking about today?
Yeah, Mike, I already got mine on order, so there's one less in inventory for everybody else to choose from. So get it on order quick. Also, I guess we should remind people about our upcoming store event. For those folks local to our 4 stores, our Asheville location is going to have a huge anniversary deal, and we filtered those deals over to all 4 stores. So if you're in the area of one of the stores, go check it out. But there's live stuff going on in Asheville, so go check us out this weekend. I'll be up there talking CNC. Come say hey. If you're one of the 2 people watching, say hey, I saw you on the video and wanted to come say hey. Anyway, today we are talking glue. Not just all glues, but today we're specifically talking Kling Bond. Maybe you've never heard of Kling Bond glue and you don't know what it is. Well, this is video for you. If you're a huge Titebond user and you've suffered like a lot of us with the lack of availability, well, we've got a product that's a great solution and works very well. If you're used to using the Titebond 2, this is a very comparable product and holds up well, typical yellow glue. And so you'll find it's got a lot of uses just like other yellow glues. And we're going to talk about some of those and some of the accessories that we have available for glue. Because glue is just glue. It glues wood and other materials together. So what is Kling Bond? Essentially, it is, it's a PVA glue, but it's an alphatic resin glue, meaning that it is yellow, it's water soluble. So it's easy to clean up. It bonds very well. It's got a very quick tack and a good set. So in 15 to 30 minutes on normal conditions, you'll be able to take the clamps off. In 24 hours, you get a full cure time. So that's nice. You get normal, typical working time. And I like the way this tacks up. It does fairly good on most materials, especially when you're doing standard woods. The strength is there. I have yet to have a joint break, and I've been using this off and on for 20 years. So very good solid glue. We do have it available in a gallon and in a quart, depending on what size you need. And if these are too big and you like smaller containers, we'll buy the gallon and look at some of the other bottle options we have. And so, like I said, one of the key things is water cleanup, water resistant. It does make life a lot easier when you're doing clamping and other joinery where that glue squeeze out is there. Some people really like to wipe that clean. Others like to use alternative methods like scrapers. And I'm more of the scraper fan. I like to scrape it clean. Once it bubbles up, it scrapes very easily. So with this available, and this is in stock, ready to go, there's no back order, no long wait times, no issues there. We have this available all day, every day. And, so give us a call, go check out the website, and you'll be able to pick yours up and get back to woodworking and feel confident in the glue you're using is going to hold up well. Now, Let's see some of the accessories that that are available for it. We've traditional bottles, and we've got a variety of different big bottles. We've got these are applicator bottles, rather. These are, you have the roller, you have the biscuit, you have the brush. You've also got traditional, Boston round style bottles in an 8 and a 16 ounce, and then a little more fancy bottle, the glue bot, and then the little baby glue bot. The benefits of the glue bot bottles is, if you notice, this has got a really funky looking spout and you got a long little tail. The key with the glue bot is, with a lot of glues and a lot of bottles, when you go to pour it, like out of a bottle like this, you're always pouring the glue that's on the top. The glue bot system has sort of fixed that problem by, your main reservoir here holds the glue. You have a small amount down here that's exposed to air when tipped over and applied, and you don't need to do a full tip over either. This just literally, if you're right at horizontal, you'll find that this works well. This is a traditional bottle, so you can squeeze it out, but if you've got your glue sitting down here, there's a lot less in this reservoir that can get skimmed over due to air and contact with other things. So this makes it real easy. There's a couple of different applicator tips in here. This is a tapered tip that comes on it, so I can't get a little closer. And this tapered tip is, you can cut it off should you need to if you're trying to do certain specific applications. It's also got a tip in here that allows you to straddle a piece of 3/4 or 1/2 inch material, so that you keep your glue line sort of centered on the piece, which is quite cool. And it's got a more traditional cone style tip in there as well. So the glue bot is a really cool product, and we have both the glue bot and the baby bot. And recently, we have just added the Miles Craft version of that. Haven't tested it out, and I feel like there might be some comparison videos coming up on the two. So we'll see how that goes. Look for that in future episodes. Also, typical syringes and injectors. We've got a variety of options there. This is a cool little kit that we have available that has your squeeze syringe in the bottom, and then 3 different size injector needles in there as well. So good little kit if you're doing a variety of things, different glue ups, getting into dowel holes or things like that. This little injector set allows you to get into those tight spots very easy, whereas traditionally a big bottle won't allow you to do that. Another obviously thing we've got as far as applicators go, we've got a variety of silicone products and different plastic products. This is it's a hard plastic type product. It's flexible. It works pretty well. Great little issue. You got a little different colors represent your just keep, so you don't lose your stuff laying around on your workbench or getting caught in sawdust. Allows you to keep track of it with the bright colors. We've also got these products that are silicone. What's nice about the silicone is glue won't stick to it. This particular is a brush only. It's got a little finger brush on one end and a spreader down at the bottom. I'm a huge fan of the silicone products. As a matter of fact, I'm such a fan that this is probably one of my favorite products we offer in the applicator style. This is a little glue applicator kit. Even the little tray is silicone. It's got a spreader brush that has both a wide end, chiseled end, and it's also got, if I can move these out of the way, you don't know if you can see that, but it's got little silicone fingers on another side. So versatile little spreader, and then it does come with a big brush, small brush, and then on the other ends you've got the flat spreaders. So cool little set. If you're looking to get into something to do applications with, that silicone spreader kit with the tray, by far one of the better options we have available as far as my opinion goes. I have it in my shop. I've got most everything of these in my shop that I've used over the years, but that silicone set is cat's meow. If you're looking to do a lot of work and you hate cleanup, literally after you're done using it, you leave it and you come back the next day and all that glue just peels right off, both the little silicone fingers as well as the tray or any other parts of the brush. Worth the wait getting into that. If you're doing big glue ups, we also offer this. It's designed for epoxy, But how this works is it's got large notches on one side, smaller notches on the other, and then it's got a flat spreader on one side and even smaller notches on the other. So you got small, medium, and large notches as well as flat. So if you're gluing up large surfaces, this is a great way to spread that glue out. You probably, if you're just doing glue, you won't use the bigger notches, the medium or the large. You could potentially use the small, but a lot of times you're going to be using the spreader to kind of really get that spread out quickly, unless you're using a roller system like this. So this is, again, for epoxy, but it also works for spreading out your glues. Then, of course, we've had these little brushes for the longest time. And these little brushes, the little acid swab glue brushes, we sell them in a 48 pack, and I believe we still offer those in a 144 box as well. And those are available online. These are designed to be quick throwaway brushes. What I found with those is they not only work well for glue applications, but they also work well for certain little finishing applications where you're trying to get down into little areas. It's not the best thing, obviously, but it does work. For certain glue ups, you can even trim some of the bristles back so that you're left with, say, half a load of bristles, and that allows you to get down into certain dowel spots or something like that. But being that we've talked about the silicone, if you're doing a lot of doweling, we actually carry these. These are the dowel versions of the silicone applicator, and there's two in the pack. You get a couple sizes there, and that's going to be real handy if you're doing a ton of doweling. And even works well for doing biscuits because the flat area allows you to get down into that biscuit pretty well as well. So we have a lot of stuff here. Now, one of the things, now this is where you can get into the debate, and we'd love to hear how you do your glue up. So leave us a comment below and let us know. A lot of people like to wipe it clean. Some people like to just wipe it in areas. I prefer leaving the beads as is and using something like this. This is a handy scraper that we've got that we carry. I use this a lot for doing a lot of my scraping. I let my glue bead up, and the reason I like it to be beaded up as opposed to wiping it clean is when you go to wipe it, if you don't get it all, what you've done is you've taken a small little narrow bead and you've flattened it out, and you've potentially closed the pores of the wood on either side of that glue joint. And so by doing that, obviously you could potentially have some finishing issues and other not so favorable options that could occur by doing that. But by letting it bead up naturally, it scrapes off very clean. And as you can see, this is a very high quality scraper. We do offer this in both the scraper itself as well as the replacement blades. This is the one that's got the long, narrow scraper. We also have some that have little profiles on them, like a triangle, a teardrop, things like that. But what I like about this is it's got a very comfortable handle. If you need to do some heavy scraping, you can put your other hand out here. Or a lot of times what I'll do for basic jobs is I'm able to just grab it like this. The way this is designed, you can also put your finger there very comfortably and just give it a little scrape. I love these scrapers. I've had mine for years, and it makes it real handy being that we sell the replacement blades for that. So no matter what your setup is, if you are a woodworker, you are going to need glue. Well, we got glue in stock, and we've got all the different ways you can use to apply that glue available as well. And what we thought we would show is some common things that people run into. Also, we talk about they run into when they're doing glue ups is different scenarios that can maximize the potential for a good bond. For instance, if you take a board, a hardwood especially, and you've jointed that and you've got that nice, clean, burnished edge, a lot of people will go straight up and they'll glue it together. For softwoods, that works fine. But what you might find sometimes on hardwoods is it may not give you the best bond. It'll still bond well, but what can help you on hardwoods is because when you burnish that edge, you've closed the fibers of the wood off, and that glue doesn't have a lot to really bond to because the pores are so tight that it can't bond properly or bond as well as it could. If you joint something, lightly scuff it with a 150 or 180 grit sandpaper, preferably like a 180 is fine. What that does is it creates that small little groove in that material, that surface, and it allows that glue more places that it can penetrate and make a bite and make a good bond. And this is a pretty good illustration of what I mean by that. We've got two different displays. This is using a 7/16. All of them are using a 7/16 dowel, and you can see the 7/16 hole. There's really no area on either side of the dowel, which is good. That's what you want. You want a nice tight joint. The 1/2 inch, on the other hand, it leaves a lot to be desired. Allows movement of your dowel, and if you're trying to use this for alignment, that can create problems. But what this is sort of can also be used as an exaggeration is if you were putting a super tight dowel into the hole that's the exact same size as the dowel, you're going to lose a lot of that glue through squeeze out, or it might get pushed all to the bottom and you don't get proper seat on the dowel. But also, on the other hand, if you go too wide, you're left with a big gap, and this glue is not going to be a huge gap filler. So what you need is to find that happy medium. This would be an example if you were using, say, hardwood, talking about coming right off the joiner with that burnished edge. This might be a little too snug. So by scuffing that, you give that glue a little more room to bond to that surface, and it makes for a much stronger bond, which over the long period of the piece of furniture that you're building, you'll appreciate, because you'll have less problems years down the road with glue starting to separate. If it's applied properly, this yellow glue, you'll find that it is stronger than the wood itself. So if you have failure, it won't be at the joint, it'll be the wood that has failed. So maximizing that by doing proper prep work before you glue up is crucial. Another thing is, especially in the colder months, is using yellow glues below freezing. They will work, but the problem you run into is when it's so cold, it thickens the glue up. So ideally what you want to do is warm both the material you're going to glue up as well as the glue. Warm that up a little bit, and you'll find that it'll perform a lot better and offer a much stronger joint. And just like in finishing, there are ideal conditions, and they're hardly never met, both with temperature, humidity, and all of that. But nonetheless, this is a very good product. It has a wide range of variables that it can be used in, and it won't freeze over and cause problems. I've had mine in my shop that's not temperature controlled at night or during the day unless I'm in it. And I've gone through a couple of freeze thaw cycles, and I still use it, and it still works just fine. The key is just making sure you might have to mix it up a little bit, stir it up. If it's cold, warm it up so that it's not so thick, but it applies like regular yellow glue. And if you've been, itching for some tight bond too, this is a good option in stock, so take advantage of it.
Sounds good. So the different sizes that we have in the Klingspor are going to be in quarts, gallons, and then we also offer the gallon with a pump. That way, if you just want to have something you can pump out as you go along, those are available. The different things that we have for accessories are the glue bots in a 16 and 4 ounce, the specialty bottles, which is the roller biscuit and brush, and then just your regular Boston Round glue bottles. The Silicone Brush, personal fan favorite here for myself and for Chris, is to have a brush that is reusable for not only wood glue, but polyurethane glues, because that's a real pain too. Sometimes I have to throw away brushes that have hardened up with polyurethane glue. CA glue, epoxies, nothing really sticks to silicone very well. So these are a great option if you want a cost savings brush over time. And then, of course, the silly sticks to go along with that. These will make life a lot easier if you have slots or dowels to do.
Yeah, and one thing I didn't mention, mainly because it's not on our website, but you can still call and order it through our phone system, or go by one of the stores and pick it up. We talked about the benefits of the silicone. We have a silicone mat available, and this silicone mat's 24 by 48. The nice thing is, if you're doing glue up and you hate getting glue all over your workbench and then having to clean that up and deal with that, do your glue ups on the silicone mat. Any glue squeeze out or spillover or smudges that may occur, they're not going to stick. And it does really well for that. And this does good for finishing as well. But mainly if you're dealing with any kind of glues, do it on a silicone mat. You'll find that it will be easier to clean up and a lot less headaches and frustration versus getting it all over your workbench.
Absolutely. And then some of the other options that are available are the spreaders, high pressure glue injector, as well as a 4-piece glue injector. And then if you're looking for a container with a brush, we do have that available. We do have the glue bottle and a tip spreader kit with all types of different tips and rollers, as well as the silly brush kit.
So unless there's any questions, we just wanted to cover this a little bit and let you know we got glue.
Yes, we do. And so I have a question for you. Tensile strength is one of those things that a lot of people ask. And in your opinion, is it something that is really a measurement of a spec on a glue that needs to be paid attention to, or is there too many variables that go along with that?
That's a good question. In the glue industry, you'll get some companies that will put out a number, and that number is it's sort of arbitrary in that it's going to be based on what you're gluing up, the conditions in which you're gluing it, and a lot of other variables that go along with that. It's sort of like horsepower in your power tool market. It's going to be at the most optimal conditions under no load. Well, it's similar to that with the tensile strength. Now, that doesn't mean that if a product's going to fail. I mean, this has got a very good tensile strength. And like I said, your joint is going to fail on the wood before it fails on the glue joint itself. And again, it's all based on those variables. So yeah, tensile strength is a good thing to know, but at the same time, unless you're using it under those optimal conditions, you're going to get a lot of variation in that actual number. And I've glued in joint, edge joint surfaces. Also I've even glued, MDF, hardwood, softwood, exotics. I will say this: if you're doing a lot of exotics, you will want to do one thing before you use a traditional yellow glue. You will want to use some kind of acetone or some kind of denatured alcohol or something to clean that up, to remove a lot of that oily moisture content off the surface before you glue it up. Either that, or you might want to look at alternatives, either epoxy or polyurethane glue or something along those lines. But this works across a lot of materials, hardwood, softwood, and different other porous materials as well. And you'll find that it's a pretty versatile product. I keep some in my shop year round, like I said.
Absolutely. So the freeze thaw cycle, you had mentioned that it's not really, if it separates, it's not a big deal just to mix it back up and it'll be fine, or to allow it to warm up. There's a lot of people that will say on the internet, especially, that if it's separated, it's no good, throw it out. But really, you're just throwing away good glue.
Yeah, and the little bottles, if you have the big gallon or even the quart, but you like to keep your main gluing applicator in a smaller bottle, that's fine. You keep it in there, and if you've got some warm water, maybe you not boiling water, but warm water, you can just sit the whole thing right down in the warm water, warm it up, and stir it up pretty good, and you'll find that should work sufficiently for getting everything mixed back in.
Perfect. Yeah, as far as glue goes, that's the only thing I can think of. That are the common questions that we get here at Klingspor's Woodworking Shop.
Yeah, and those numbers, like I say, those numbers are out there, and all the chemists, they do the testing on all of that. But it's typically not something that most manufacturers are going to put out there, just simply because the end user could use it in a slightly different manner, and you're going to get drastically different results. So.
All right, so just to recap real quick, SawStop beat the sale increase before May 3rd. Get it this week and this week only, or you pay a higher price come May 3rd. So the choice is yours. Save money or don't. It's up to you, really. And then this Saturday in our Asheville retail location, we are having our 7th anniversary sale. Well, we'll have several vendors in person: Festool, Craig, Triton, Rycon, Powermatic, Bessie, Nova, Jet, Grex, and more, as well as Mr. Chris Smith will be demoing CNCs. We have door prizes, Craig Pocket Hole Jig, 5 $100 gift cards, 5-inch DeWalt sanders, and the drawings will be held various times throughout the day, as well as you have to be present to win the door prizes. So come on down to Asheville, check it out. There's a food truck. There'll be a food truck there if you're hungry. I forgot one thing. First 50 people in the door get a free abrasive sampler pack. Can't forget that one. And There is a special coming up this Friday, which we'll announce Thursday with our special guest, Mr. Daryl Jones from Robert Sorby will be joining us talking about the Pro Edge. But we'll also have a big sale, flash sale for Friday and Saturday. So make sure to tune in for that to get the heads up on what that's going to be before the email goes out.
Yeah, look forward to seeing y'all at the store thing. Come up, see me in Asheville. If not, come see us online. Give us a call. All of the products will be available. If you got questions about anything you've seen, drop a little comment below. And don't forget to leave your comment and tell me how you like to spread your glue and whether you like to wipe it up or scrape it up. Always interested to find out how the woodworkers do their projects.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for joining us for Abrasive and Proud of It Live Tool Tip Tuesday with Mr. Chris Smith. Have a good day,
We'll see you
everybody.
next time.
That's it.